Let's start with Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Let's do some Radha Jap. Radha, Shri Radha, Radha, Shri Radha, Radha, Shri Radha. We are reading Bhagwat Geeta as it is by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, founder Acharya of International Society for Krishna Consciousness. We are in chapter 2, text 49. No, text 48, I think. Perform your duty equipoised, O Arjun, abandoning all attachment to success or failure. Such equanimity is called yoga. Let's read the purport. Krishna tells Arjun that he should act in yoga, that is yoga. And what is that yoga? Yoga means to concentrate the mind upon the Supreme by controlling the ever disturbing senses. And who is the Supreme? The Supreme is the Lord. And because he himself is telling Arjun to fight, Arjun has nothing to do with the results of the fight. Gain or victory are Krishna's concern. Arjun is simply advised to act according to the dictation of Krishna. The following of Krishna's dictation is real yoga, and this is practiced in the process called Krishna consciousness. By Krishna consciousness only can one give up the sense of proprietorship. One has to become the servant of Krishna or the servant of Krishna. Das na das. That is the right way to discharge duty in Krishna consciousness, which alone can help one to act in yoga. Arjun is a Kshatriya, and as such he is participating in the Varnashram Dharma institution. It is said in the Vishnu Puran that in the Varnashram Dharma, the whole aim is to satisfy Vishnu. No one should satisfy himself, as is the rule in the material world. In material world, we want to satisfy ourselves. But the rule is to satisfy Vishnu in Varnashram Dharma. One cannot correctly observe the principles of Varnashram Dharma. So unless one satisfies Krishna, one cannot correctly observe the principles of Varnashram Dharma. Indirectly, Arjun was advised to act as Krishna told him. Yes. Let's move to text 49. O Dhananjay, keep all abominable activities far distant by devotional service, and in that consciousness surrender unto the Lord. Those who want to enjoy the fruits of their work are misers. Let's read the purport. One who has actually come to understand one's institutional position as an eternal servitor of the Lord gives up all engagements except working in Krishna consciousness. Yes. As already explained, Buddhi Yoga means transcendental loving service to the Lord. Such devotional service is the right course of action for the living entity. Only misers desire to enjoy the fruit of their own work just to be further entangled in the material bondage. So misers, who are misers? Misers are the people who don't want to share, who are very confused. So they don't want to give. They only want to take for themselves. Right? So when you stop being a miser, how can you stop being a miser? When you have the quality of giving. So what is the quality of giving? Quality of giving is that you do everything for someone else without expecting anything, any benefit from it. So I keep doing my work, my duties towards my children, towards my family, towards my work and everything. But I don't do it with the intention to receive something back from them. Yeah. So that is when you are actually giving, the true meaning of giving. Yes. I gave my time. Yeah. Except for work in Krishna consciousness, all activities are abominable because they continually bind the worker to the cycle of birth and death. Yes. So unless you do this, unless you keep taking, you keep doing things to take back, you will be always entangled in material world. And if you are entangled in material world, the system of birth and death will keep happening. It will never stop. So one should therefore never desire to be the cause of birth. Everything should be done in Krishna consciousness. So you are not the cause of the work. The cause of the work should always be Krishna. You're doing it for Krishna. You're not doing it for yourself. Misers do not know how to utilize the assets of riches which they acquire by good fortune or by hard labor. One should spend all energies working in Krishna consciousness, and that will make one's life successful. Like misers, unfortunate persons do not employ their human energy in the service of the Lord. Yes, it is so true. Let's move to text 50. A man engaged in devotional service rids himself of both good and bad reactions, even in this life. Therefore, strive for yoga, which is the art of all work. Let's read the purport. Since time immemorial, each living entity has accumulated the various reactions of good and bad work. As such, he is continuously ignorant of his real constitutional position. Yes. One's ignorance can be removed by the instruction of the Bhagwat Geeta, which teaches one to surrender unto the Lord Krishna in all respects and become liberated from the chained victimization of action and reaction, birth after birth. Yes. Arjun is therefore advised to act in Krishna consciousness, the purifying process of resultant action. Yes, so Krishna will always ask you to do certain work which will purify you from the uh, reactions that were in the past life or that were in this life also. Yes. तो बेसिकली सारी एक्शंस जो हम कृष्णा कॉन्शियस में कर लेते हैं उससे हमारे पिछले पाप धुल जाते हैं क्योंकि यू आर डूइंग एज पर द डायरेक्शन ऑफ द लॉर्ड एंड ही नोज व्हाट यू नीड टू डू what you need to suffer, what you need to go through, which will deliver you, which will, help you reach salvation. So we have to work in full faith, basically. Let's move to text 51. By thus engaging in devotional service to the Lord, great sages or devotees free themselves from the results of work in the material world. In this way, they become free from the cycle of birth and death and attain the state beyond all miseries by going back to Godhead. Let's read the purport. The liberated living entities belong to that place where there are no material miseries. Yes. The Bhagavatam 10.14.58 says, Samashrita ye pada pallava plavam mahat padam punya yasho murare bhavam bhavam buddhi Vatsapadam, Parampadam, Padam Padam, Yad Vipadam, Na Tesham. For one who has accepted the boat of the lotus feet of the Lord, who is the shelter of the cosmic manifestation, and is famous as Mukunda, or the giver of Mukti, the ocean of the material world is like the water contained in the calf's footprints. Parampada, or the place where there are no material miseries, or Vaikuntha, is his goal, not the place where there is danger in every step of life. Very true. Owing to ignorance, one does not know that this material world is a miserable place where there are dangers at every step. Out of ignorance only, less intelligent persons try to adjust to the situation by fruitive activities, thinking that the resultant actions will make them happy. Yes. इतना पैसा जमा कर दिया, इतने बैंक बैलेंस बढ़ा के क्या तुम खुश हो? Is it making you feel happy? They do not know that no kind of material body anywhere within the universe can give life without miseries. Yes, material body is the source of all miseries. The miseries of life, namely birth, death, old age, and diseases, are present everywhere within the material world. But one who understands this real constitutional position as the eternal servitor of the Lord and thus knows the position of the personality of Godhead, engages himself in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. Yes? So, one who knows this issue of material body, they slowly engage themselves into Krishna's service of Krishna, being in Krishna consciousness, doing things which will help them be in Krishna consciousness. Consequently, he becomes qualified to enter into the Vaikuntha planets where there is neither material, miserable life nor the influence of time and death. So, Vaikuntha planets do not have the five material elements. What are the five material elements? Your your air, water, fire, your earth, and space. These five elements are not there in Vaikuntha. So obviously there is nothing material there. Nothing is formed materially. Yeah. So naturally, if it is not material, it will not suffer anything which material body suffers. Correct? To know one's constitutional position means to know also the sublime position of the Lord. But, one who wrongly thinks that the living entity's position and the Lord's position are at the same level is to be understood to be in darkness and therefore unable to engage himself in the devotional service of the Lord. Yes. He becomes the Lord himself and thus paves the way for the repetition of birth and death. Yes. So, but one who understanding that his position is to serve, transfers himself to the service of the Lord, at once becomes eligible for Vaikuntha Lok. Service for the cause of the Lord is called Karma Yoga or Buddhi Yoga, or in plain words, devotional service to the Lord. Yes. Let's move to text 52. When your intelligence has passed out of the dense forest of delusion, you shall become indifferent to all that has been heard and all that has to be heard. Yes. Let's read the purport. There are many good examples in the lives of the great devotees of the Lord, of those who became indifferent to the rituals of the Vedas simply by devotional service to the Lord. So these people were not doing anything as per the Vedic literature. They were just serving the Lord. They were just under Krishna consciousness, and whatever intuition or thoughts or um, actions they got or directions they got in their mind, they kept doing those things without thinking whether it will be beneficial, whether it will hold good. No questions asked. They kept doing it. And they were more liberated than those who were actually following the Vedic process, like doing puja, following all the, dincharya. When a person factually understands Krishna and his relationship with Krishna, he naturally becomes completely indifferent to the rituals of fruitive activities, even though an experienced Brahman, Sri Madhavendra Puri, a great devotee and acharya in the line of the devotees says, in quotes, "Oh, my prayers 3 times a day, all glory to you. O bathing, I offer my obeisances unto you. O demigods, O forefathers, please excuse me for my inability to offer you my respects. Now, wherever I sit, I remember the great descendant of the Yadu dynasty, that is Krishna, the enemy of Kans, and thereby I can free myself from all sinful bondage. I think this is sufficient for me." Yes, just freeing yourself from material bondage is like a big thing, and it's something that we strive for every day. The Vedic rites and rituals are imperative for neophytes, comprehending all kinds of prayers 3 times a day, taking a bath early in the morning, offering respects to the forefathers, etc. But when one is fully in Krishna consciousness and is engaged in his transcendental loving service, one becomes indifferent to all these regulative principles because he has already attained perfection. Yes. So we have understood in the previous chapter that Vedic literatures were created by Krishna to actually help a person reach Krishna consciousness state of mind. But these neophytes, they don't do that. They just stop when they have received any sense gratification out of doing those Vedic literatures. See, when you, when all your sense gratification senses are satisfied, you will reach a point where now you are eligible or you are able to come in Krishna consciousness state of mind. But what these people do, they just keep the doing till the point where the senses are getting satisfied, getting satisfied, getting satisfied, and they don't come out of it. तो जब तुम्हारे पास कुछ चीज नहीं है तो तुम उसको चाहते हो. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, पैसा नहीं है तुम्हारे पास तो तुम पैसा कमाने की ट्राई करते जाओगे. यू विल डू ऑल द वैदिक थिंग्स, prayers, everything, so that you get opportunities and you become rich. But once you become rich, you have to now move out of it because अभी और इससे ज्यादा क्या satisfy होगा, इससे ज्यादा क्या खुशी मिलेगी. तो खुशी मिलने पैसा कमाने के बाद जो खुशी मिल गई तो वो खत्म हो गया. अभी पैसा कमाने का जो नीड था वो खत्म हो गया. अभी उसमें से बाहर निकलना है और आगे देखना है खुशी कहाँ मिलती. तो जब तक तुम्हारे ये सारे सेंसेस के प्रॉब्लम्स सेटिस्फाई नहीं हो जाते तब तक आप उसके पीछे भागते रहोगे और वैदिक विजडम करते रहोगे. लेकिन जब सारे सेंसेस, मतलब जे अच्छा परफ्यूम, अच्छा ये, अच्छा वो, वट एवर दैट इज, ना, जब वो सारा हो जाएगा, अचीव हो जाएगा, आगे क्या, उसके बाद क्या, उसके बाद ही तो तुम एलिजिबल हो कृष्ण, क्योंकि अब तुम्हारा माइंड उसके अंदर भ्रमित नहीं है, तुम्हें कोई टेंशन नहीं है, तुम्हें कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, तुम फ्री हो गए एटलीस्ट. और अब तुम फ्री हो, यू कैन nicely, you are able to carry on to enter into Krishna consciousness without thinking anything. बट ये लोग क्या करते हैं, ये लोग सिर्फ यहाँ तक पहुंच के यहीं पे घूमते रहते हैं, तो मटेरियल बॉन्डेज बनते रहते हैं. अब तुम महालक्ष्मी की पूजा करोगे तो तुम्हें अबंडेंस मिलनी है. अगर तुम्हें सारी अबंडेंस मिल गई, हेल्थ, वेल्थ, घर, रिलेशंस, फैमिली, एवरीथिंग सब ठीक चल रहा है, अब आगे क्या, इससे ज्यादा क्या आपको खुशी देगा. आपको तो खुशी लेनी है ना, तो क्या खुशी लेगा. कुछ लोग दे गो बैक इनटू गेटिंग मोर. अच्छा, अभी 2 BHK है, अभी 4 BHK चाहिए, 4 BHK है तो अभी 8 BHK चाहिए. दे कीप मूविंग अहेड, दे आर ओनली होल्डिंग इट. बट नाउ यू आर ऑलरेडी सेटल्ड. अभी कुछ नहीं, तुम्हें कुछ परेशानी नहीं है, परेशानी से तुम मुक्त हो गए. अब तुम्हें जाना है कृष्णा कॉन्शियसनेस में, ताकि तुम अभी गिविंग के उसमें आ जाओ. और जब तुम्हारे पास कुछ होगा तो तुम दे पाओ. है ही नहीं देने के लिए, तो क्या कृष्णा कॉन्शियसनेस में आ पाओगे? तो दिस इज द होल लॉजिक ऑफ वैदिक लिटरेचर, that you do things, you attain things, and then you are reach a position where you can start giving, right? तो ये लोग नहीं करते हैं. Neophytes are those people who don't end up doing that, but they end up going back and keep being in the same loop of achieving more, being more and more passionate. Passionate होने के बाद ignorance भी शुरू हो जाता है. So it is a very thin line, but वो क्रॉस हो जाती है. तो पैशनेट होने के बाद हमें गुडनेस में आना था, मूड ऑफ गुडनेस. यस. But when one is fully in Krishna consciousness and is engaged in his transcendental loving service, one becomes indifferent to all these regulative principles because he has already attained perfection. If one can reach the platform of understanding by service to the Supreme Lord Krishna, he has no longer to execute different types of penances and sacrifices as recommended in revealed scriptures. And similarly, if one has not understood that the purpose of the Vedas is to reach Krishna and simply engages in the rituals, etc., then he is uselessly wasting time in such engagements. Persons in Krishna consciousness transcend the limit of Shabda Brahma or the range of the Vedas and Upanishads. Yes. Let's move to text 53. When your mind is no longer disturbed by the flowery language of the Vedas, and when it remains fixed in the trance of self-realization, then you will have attained the divine consciousness. Yes. Let's read the purport. To say that one is in samadhi is to say that one has fully realized consciousness. That is, one in full samadhi has realized Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagwan. The highest perfection of self realization is to understand that one is eternally the servitor of Krishna and that one's only business is to discharge one's duties in Krishna consciousness. So हम वो सारी चीजें करने लगेंगे जिससे किसी और का भला हो. और ये सारी चीजें करने के लिए जो हमें आदेश मिलते रहेंगे when we are in Krishna consciousness, when we are listening to our subconscious, when we are listening to your consciousness. Okay, when we say ना तुम्हारे where has your conscious died? When a person is acting so cruel, so so basically, if a person is acting angry, cruel, any negative energy you think, any negative emotion you think, it is going to it is going to result in making somebody feel bad. And Krishna's consciousness will never allow you to do that. If you're feeling angry, you keep it to yourself. You don't transfer it to others. Because what you have to transfer is goodness only. You have to serve people so that people's life become better. That is the whole intention. When you serve the mankind, you are serving the Lord. The service is one other way of reaching Krishna. कि आज भी हम लोग कितना और दे दो और दे दो और दे दो मतलब दे मांगते ही रहते हैं. जब हम देने का करेंगे तब कृष्णा खुश हो जाएंगे, जब हम देना शुरू करें लोगों को. So a Krishna conscious person or unflinching devotee of the Lord should not be disturbed by the flowery language of the Vedas, nor be engaged in fruitive activities for promotion to the heavenly kingdom. वो भी मैं जब दे रही हूँ तो मुझे ये इंटेंशन से नहीं देना है कि मुझे वैकुंठ जाने मिलेगा कल. वो भी गलत है. तुम सिर्फ करते जाओ. यू जस्ट बी इन दैट स्टेट ऑफ माइंड दैट मुझे ये करना है क्योंकि मुझे आया है थॉट कि ये मुझे आज करना है बस. एंड जस्ट मूव, कीप मूविंग. In Krishna consciousness, one becomes directly into communion with Krishna, and thus all directions from Krishna may be understood in that transcendental state. One is sure to achieve results by such activities and attain conclusive knowledge. So one has only to carry out the orders of Krishna or his representative, the spiritual master. Yes. So let's end here with Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. To some Radha Ja, Radha, Shri Radha, Radha, Shri Radha, Radha, Shri Radha.